Hello students, welcome back. In this session, I'm going to be talking about file handling. File handling in Python, it allows you to read and write to a file stored on your computer. It is essential for working with data storage, for logging, and also for configuration files. So there are different types of modes in file when you open up your file. So there is a read mode. Okay, it opens a file for reading, and if the file does not exist, it's going to throw an error. Then there's a write mode. It opens up a file for writing purposes. If the file already exists, it's going to overwrite that content. Be aware of that. Then you have append mode, adds content to the end of the file, and it overwrite and does not overwrite. So this only adds the content, it only appends the content at the end. And then you have exclusive creation, and then you have a text mode and binary mode. For our class, for this session, I'm only going to be focusing on read, write, and append mode. That's it. Okay, so let's open up a file for writing. So come over here, and I'm going to copy this, paste it over here, and let's run this. All right. So what just happened, it opened up a file for writing. This is my write mode, W mode. It opens in a write mode. And I print my message, message 1, hello world, and then I'm printing a new line at the end, and then I'm file.write message. I'm writing my message to the file. I'm invoking this write method. Now I'm writing another message, life is great, and then new line character, and then I'm writing it to the file. Okay, file.write message. So write is an inbuilt method of your file. And likewise, I'm putting another message, but homework is torture, and then file.write. Now, be aware that after you open up a file in write mode, remember, if this file already existed, it's going to overwrite its content. So everything that was present inside the file, it will be gone, and this new string will appear over there. Be aware of that. And that's why I wrote this thing multiple times. Warning, W mode will erase existing content before writing new data. Okay, so after we're done writing these three messages, message 1, this, and this message, I'm closing my file. And I ran this now. So let's go and view our file in our notepad. So if I go to my directory and come over here, and let's see, this one was, I called it example.txt. So come over here, right click, and open with notepad, and there you go. Oops, all right, there you go. So as you can see, the content of the file is exactly same. One hello world, life is great, life is great. So it printed life is great, and then but homework is torture, but homework is torture. All right, now let's, okay, let's see, let me close this. All right, now we write the same content in a different style. Come over, copy, paste over here. In this case, I'm writing multiple strings using a for loop. Now, if you look over here, I'm writing this message, right? This message, then again, and again, and again. I can put this whole code, this whole logic in a for loop because I'm saying message 1, hello world, life is great, but homework is torture. And right after that, I'm writing this message, writing this message, writing this message. So this, I can actually accomplish that using a for loop. So now my messages are to hello world, \n, which is my new line, life is great, new line, but homework is torture. So this is my list of strings, and I'm iterating through my messages for message and for MSG and messages, file.write message, and then at the end I close my file. I run this, and there you go. So the difference between this and this, like over here I typed 1, and over here I'm typing 2. So this way I can separate one file from the other. Okay, let's go to example.txt file now. Let's open this file, and you're going to see right there 2 hello world. You see that? 2 hello world. Okay, now let's write multiple strings. We can also do the same thing using a multi-line strings. This is style 3. So I'm opening up my file, example.txt in write mode, and I'm writing my message equal to triple double quotes, 3 hello world, Python is great, but homework is torture. Well, let me change this line to life is great instead of Python is great to life is great. All right, life is great, but homework is torture. And then I file.write message. I write the whole message in one shot, in one go, and then I close my file. In this case, I'm not using any for loop. And I run this, and let's go to that file now. Let's try to see example.txt. This time I'm using 3. So we should see 3 over there. So come over here, open up example.txt, and you can see 3 right there. Okay, 3 hello world. 3 hello world, life is great, but homework is torture. Exactly same thing. Okay, now let's use another style. This is the most commonly used style. And this is the preferred and recommended way of opening up a file to write to a file. So what we're doing, we're using this with statement. So this is my message. It's the same message as this one right here, same message. And I'm saying with open example.txt, comma, w, with open this file as file. Okay, as file. And then I'm saying file.write message. So if you look at this code, this 2 line accomplishes this part, this right there, and this right there, and this right there. So your 3 lines of code has been reduced to just only 2 lines of code. So one of the advantage of using this with is that your file is closed automatically. Okay, when you use your with statement over here, I'm not explicitly mentioning that close the file. Your with statement will close the file automatically for you. So this is one of the advantage of using with statement. And this is one of the preferred ways and recommended ways. All right, let's go back to again our file. So I ran this and I want to see if this file has been created, and this time it's going to use number 4. So come over here, click on this. Oh, look at that, it did. Number 4 right there. Okay, let me close this, minimize this, minimize this. All right, so this way we can we can write to a file. Now let's look at some of the read methods. So let's say I want to read a file. Reading is easy. Let me put some cells over here, separate few cells. Okay, now let's read the file. So this is my style 1. I'm saying file equal to open example.txt. It's the same file I just created a minute ago. And I'm opening up in a read mode. In the previous ones, I was opening up in the write mode. You see W, I was opening up in the write mode. Now I'm doing it in a read mode. And I'm reading the file. I'm saying file.read and then content. Okay, so file.read and stores the value in its content. And then I print my content. Now when I run this, it's going to print 4, hello world, Python is great, but homework is torture. Now, it's possible. You may not want to read the whole line. Maybe you just want to read the first few characters. You can do that too. So comment this line out and activate this line, content equal to file.read, and you specify 10. If you specify 10, a number over here, that's going to read that many number of characters. In this case, it read 10 characters total. You can count total index character would be 10. Right? Come back over here again and activate this again, and there you go. Okay, style 2. Maybe you want to read all the files into a list and then print the entire list. That happens a lot. Sometimes you don't want to read a file on the screen. You want to read on a list. So you say file equal to open example.txt in a read mode, okay, R, and then file.read lines. Okay, you do read lines. Mind this S over there. There's a S over there. Okay, in this case, I was doing read. Okay, in this case, I'm doing read lines. So lines equal to files dot read lines, and then I print my lines. And I print it, it prints my 4 hello world, Python is great, but homework is torture. Now if you notice right here, this is called a new line. So anytime when you read your line, you will come across this backslash n. Okay, that's your new line. Okay, so now I want to let me just remove this. Okay, now I want to read all the lines and print in a readable form. Okay, now I want to print this in a readable form. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say for line in lines, I'm going to iterate through each one of them. I'm going to print my line, and my end character would be, I'm actually putting as a space. Okay, basically nothing over there. So if I run this, and that's going to print for hello world, Python is great, but homework is torture. If I don't use this, it's going to print an extra new line, because if you remember your print statement, it does have its own new line. Okay, so I'm overriding that. All right, so this way I'm able to print all the lines of my file. Style 3, you may want to read using with statement. So read using with statement. So let's do that. So style 3 here. One of the advantage of with statement, as I mentioned before, is that it closes the file automatically. You don't have to explicitly mention file.close. You don't have to do that. So in this case, I'm saying with open example.txt in a read mode as file, content equal to file.read. So same thing as this over here. Okay, same thing. Where was it? Right there. It's the same thing as this, except now I'm using my with command. Okay, with syntax, and then I print my content right here. Nowhere over here I'm mentioning to close the file, because with will close the file at the end of the execution. When this thing is done, when this whole statement is executed, it is going to automatically close the file for you. And let's run this, and there you go. It prints the content of the file. I type print, it prints the content. So let's look at a simple application. So this is a simple application. Okay, in this case, I want to read a text file, and I want to print only rows that contains a certain string. Let's say the string is Shamlodia, some name Shamlodia. And we want to read this file. So let's look at this file. This is a file datapeople.txt. So let me show you. And where it is, there it is. Let's open this file up, and this is the file. So as you can see, there are a bunch of characters in there. It's a lot of text characters in there. And somewhere over here, there is a string. We are looking for the string. And let's say the string is that we are looking for is Shamlodia. It can be any string, but I'm just picking up a random character. I just picked up Shamlodia. Okay, so step 1. First thing you do, you try to read your file. Create a simple program and try to read that file and print it on the screen. So let's run this, and there you go. So I'm using with open datapeople.txt in a read mode as file, and then I'm iterating through each and every lines on the file. For line and file, if Shamlodia in line, then print my line. And as you can see, it is able to find two Shamlodia right there, this one and this one. If you would have gone there manually and tried to find Shamlodia, that's going to take you forever. Okay, all right. Now let's say if you look over here, you see a little weird thing. It's actually printing extra space over here. I mean, extra new line over here. Okay, and maybe it's possible this Shamlodia, maybe S is capital or H is capital. Okay, so we want to take that into account. So let's take that into account now. So I'm redoing the same thing. I'm printing bunch of octothorpe, and now I'm taking into account uppercase and lowercase. Okay, it's possible that the string Shamlodia could be uppercase, or some of them could be lowercase, right? You want to consider both of them. So I want to take that into account. And how do I do that? I put line.lower. Basically, this code is similar to this code, except I'm putting line.lower over here. And what this is going to do is going to take each line inside this file, and it's going to convert each and every line to lowercase. And then I'm going to compare my Shamlodia with my lowercase. All right. And then I print my line. Now the difference, now if you look over here, I just printed my line. Over here I'm using print.line.strip. And what this does is that it's going to remove this one. It removes extra spaces. It removes extra spaces or new line characters before printing. Okay, so this is going to remove extra spaces. So let's run this, and you can see it has removed extra spaces. So there was, you notice like there are some extra new line over here. Those things are gone now. So it removed all the extra new lines at the end of the character, at the end of the line. And also you can see there is one extra record. Look at that, SHAMLODHIY. So it's printing Shamlodia with S capital. Before, if I did this thing before, it did not print it. It only printed 2. Now it's printing 3 of them. All right. Append. Sometime you just want to write to a file, but you don't want to overwrite the file. You just want to append to a file. So let's say I open my file example.txt and open this file in append mode, A. Okay, you type A over here. That's going to open in append mode. And then you write some string over there, file.write, appending a new line. That's it. And then file.close. And now run this. Now, if you open this example.txt, you will find a new line in there, appending new line. So let's come over here. Let me close this. Don't need this anymore. All right. Come over here, open up your example, and there you go. Appending a new line right there. Appending a new line, appending a new line. Okay, so it appends at the end. That's what your A does. Okay, so I hope this session helps you with basics of reading a file, writing a file, and appending a file. Thank you.